Greetings, intellectually curious individuals or fellow students doing a crash course in preparation of the AP exam. If you're the former, hi, my name is Adea, and we're glad to have you here with us today. But if you're the latter, buckle up because you're gonna need some stimulants, which is what we're talking about today. Now, if you've made it to high school and above in terms of age, the chances are likely that, like me, you've used a stimulant before. Most likely caffeine and hopefully not nicotine. So naturally, the question arises, what is this drug that is so commonly used in our daily lives, and how does it affect us? The Myers Psychology for the AP course defines stimulants as drugs that excite neuroactivity and speed up bodily functions. This means stimulants are agonists, which increase a neurotransmitter's action. Imagine that this is a receptor site in your brain. It's currently closed and awaiting potential signal. The stimulant mimics a neurotransmitter, causing the receptor site to open. That's how you're able to feel its effects. People use stimulants for a variety of reasons, such as promoting alertness, weight loss, boost mood, academic, or athletic performances. According to America's rehab campuses, stimulants are one of the most commonly abused drugs in the world. The energy and feeling that stimulants provide lead many people to overuse and even develop an addiction to this dangerous type of drug. In 2018, the National Institute on Drug Abuse released survey results that 5 million people, or 2.1% of U.S. adults, had misused prescription stimulants at least one time. Today, we'll cover the latter 4 types of commonly used and abused stimulants to understand how they affect our mind and body. Let's start with the one you're probably most familiar with, nicotine. Nicotine is produced by tobacco products such as cigarettes, cigars, chewing tobacco, pipe tobacco, snuff, and e-cigarettes. They're highly addictive, comparable to heroin and cocaine. So, what happens when you smoke? As a rush of nicotine enters your system, they will signal neurotransmitters in the central nervous system to release epinephrine, norepinephrine, dopamine, and opiates. These are what make you feel good, which cause you to want it, again and again. Smokers tend to develop tolerance, and quitting will cause withdrawal, craving, insomnia, anxiety, irritability, and distractibility are common symptoms. Next up is cocaine, another highly addictive substance derived from the coca plant. Cocaine can be snorted, injected, or smoked and enters the bloodstream, making your brain release the previously mentioned feel-good chemicals very quickly. This is why you will experience a crash of agitated depression within the hour, since you only produce a certain amount of those chemicals and cocaine uses it up all in one go. It's very much like what's said about drinking. It's borrowing happiness from tomorrow. Cocaine can lead to emotional disturbances, suspiciousness, convulsions, cardiac arrest, and respiratory failure. Does that sound terrible? We have more. Methamphetamine is a type of amphetamine, which are stimulant drugs often prescribed to treat ADHD, narcolepsy, and obesity. Methamphetamine, or crystal meth, is an illegal drug with high potential for abuse. If you're confused by their differences, think of it this way. All crows are black, but not all blackbirds are crows. Methamphetamines are amphetamines, but not all amphetamines are meth. The biggest difference is in their potency. Meth is a lot stronger. Over time, meth can reduce baseline levels of dopamine, basically making it harder for you to be happy. Its after effects include irritability, insomnia, hypertension, seizures, social isolation, depression, and occasional violent outbursts. On a similar note, ecstasy or MDMA is also an amphetamine derivative. Its powder form is known as Molly, and it is both a stimulant and mild hallucinogen. Like other types of stimulants previously mentioned, ecstasy triggers dopamine release and blocks its reuptake, allowing the user to experience high energy emotional elevation and connectedness with those around them. Rachel Newer from Times Magazine, who suffered from insomnia and vivid nightmares during the lockdown, described her experience of connection on MDMA, saying, "I was not alone at all. None of us were." In a study conducted by the University of Chicago, scientists found the drug also increased participants' level of oxytocin, which had a positive relationship with how close they felt to each other. Although MDMA may be used to treat other mental conditions in the future, it is important to note that repeated use can destroy serotonin-producing neurons, impair memory, and permanently destroy mood. I should also note here that the effects of excessively abusing any of these drugs is death. That said, I hope you learned something or was able to recall most of what you learned in a nutshell. I wish you the best of luck and health. Goodbye.